Hello again, boys and girls. I am so happy to see you. I'm hoping that you are ready for another story time. You know what that means. Eyes watching, ears listening, bodies nice and still, and quiet voices, please. Okay? And let's get ready. Do you know it's story time, story time, story time? Do you know it's story time in your home today? Boys and girls, today's story is Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way. And I chose this story because Christmas is coming and because it looked like a snowy kind of book. And because who doesn't love a little tiny baby puppy? So, let's begin. Jingle All the Way. And there is the title page. And you know what happens once we get to the title page. We are ready to begin. There are lots of stories about good little boys and girls, but there aren't many stories about good little dogs. But this is a story about Jingle, a husky pup, and Jingle was a good dog. So cute. He never made a mess. He never chewed holes in things. He never, not even one time, kept people awake at night with his barking. And he always, almost always did exactly what he was told. I wonder if Snickers always does what Snickers is told. Snickers is Gianna and Alexa's puppy. One day, Jingle was resting beside the front steps of Pineville Elementary School. Suddenly, the school bell began clanging out loud, and the children who were inside ran outside. That made Jingle very happy. You could see the children coming out of the school. How many children are there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he came back the next day, and the same thing happened. The bell rang, and the children hurried out. It was amazing. Kevin patted his belly. Sarah scratched his ears. Jennifer said, "Jingle, you're a good dog." Look at that face. Jingle loved to bark hello. Jingle even loved to sing. Do you know what it sounds like when a dog sings? Do you know? Ow, ow, something like that. But what Jingle loved most was being with his friends. He liked to race Kevin to the edge of the schoolyard, but every day Kevin said, "Bye, Jingle, it's time for me to go home." Sometimes he followed Sarah to the school bus, but Sarah only said, "Sorry, Jingle, I've got to go home." I want you to look at these illustrations. They're absolutely beautiful. How do you think Jingle was feeling when everybody was saying goodbye? This is Sarah, said goodbye. How do you think Jingle felt? Maybe a little sad. One snowy day, Jingle even dashed all the way to Jennifer's house. Jennifer laughed. "Silly dog, Jingle, you've got to go home." What a beautiful little home Jennifer has. Usually, Jingle did exactly what he was told. But since he didn't have a home, he had no place to go. Instead, he went back to Pineville Elementary School and waited for the school bell. He waited all night and all day, but it didn't ring. I'm going to show you what the sign says on the door here. It says, "Closed for the holidays. See you in January." There's no children inside the school. The school is closed. Jingle decided to look for his friends. After all, they were the closest thing that he had to a family. He searched everywhere, but the kids were nowhere to be found. Oh boy. How is Jingle feeling now? Show me your faces. How do you think Jingle feels? Kind of sad. Then Jingle remembered seeing a very long line of kids at the toy store. What were they waiting for so patiently? Was it important? The very thought of finding his friends made Jingle want to sing. But when Jingle arrived at the store, there were no children. There was only a colorful storefront window and a whole lot of quiet. The store is closed. Can you see the word closed? Right there. Jingle was tired from all of his searching, so he made his way behind the toy store and plopped into the first soft place he found and fell asleep. And even though it didn't feel like a home, it was cozy. Aww, poor Jingle. Moments later, someone carefully lifted the bag Jingle had snuggled into. "Well, what have we here?" a voice spoke warmly. "Someone all alone at Christmas?" Placing the green velveteen bag in front of his sled, the man remembered a letter he'd been given earlier that day from a good little boy in the toy store. "Ho, ho, ho," he said to himself. "That gives me an idea." He wasn't sure what was going to happen, but suddenly Jingle felt very happy. Who was the man that found Jingle? Yes, Santa Claus. The next morning, Jingle was surrounded by the smell of pine and peppermint. There was a fancy collar around his neck with a bell that jingled whenever he moved. But the best surprise of all came when Jingle saw Andrew, one of his friends from school. "It's Jingle," Andrew said. "Jingle, you're such a good dog." Oh, how exciting. Oh, who put Jingle in Andrew's house? Of course, Santa Claus did. The two friends spent the rest of Christmas Day playing together, Jingle's bell ringing merrily all the while. That night, before Andrew turned out the lights in his room, Jingle hopped onto the bed. Andrew said, "Jingle, stay." And he did. Look at how comfy, cozy they are. Sleeping. Such beautiful illustrations. The end. The magic of Christmas. Jingle all the way. I hope you enjoyed our snowy little book with our cute little puppy and the little hint that Santa was in the story. I want you to enjoy your day. I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye, boys and girls.